everybody! We are Irrational Radio, and this is a quick Darning Watch one-shot. We can't make it for Old for Gold because Shady is indisposed right now, so we're coming at you with a new Darning Watch episode. A little backstory on the Darning Watch. It is a group of exceptional people that exist within the fictional universe of Paralandia that work kind of like a Men in Black SCP Foundation kind of deal, where they go out and they find strange anomalies what's it, Mulder and Scully,
X-Files?
X-Files. This is like an X-Files thing, you go
NCIS.
NCIS. Well, yeah. You guys go out, solve problems that can't be solved by the local guards or the country wizards, and in return for monetary gain. You guys have been sent out to the city of Meadowsing in the country of Arboria. Arboria is a flat, wide open plain country that is known for its very fertile farm fields and huge estates. One of these estates, outside of the northern portion of Meadowsing, is owned by the Sticklebrick family. They have had something of a problem in the last 3 days. Their entire property has become an enormous overgrown jungle, though it's not necessarily jungle plants. It is just the normal plants of the area, but grown to enormous size. You guys have talked to the mayor, and no one has been able to find any of the Sticklebrick family, and neither a hint of the 2 guard units that were sent into the property the day before to try to figure out what was going on. After the guards disappeared, they decided nothing was to be done but call the Darning Watch. You guys were able to get down here using the teleporters that exist.
It's fitting for a
They're
farm.
potatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Arboria is really about that. So.
Really about the raw
That'll make
potatoes.
sense. Yeah.
But you guys arrived in Meadowsing, talked to the mayor, and discovered that, this has only been going on for maybe 3 days, but at least 2. It is affecting the entire 20 acres of the Sticklebrick family, but only the Sticklebrick family. They have not seen anything grow past it yet. The 2 guard units they sent in the day before were equipped with swords and scythes, but any attempts to cut down or remove the overgrown plants just causes them to regrow right back in place. You guys have left Meadowsing and are now heading towards the Sticklebrick property, which is only a few miles north of Meadowsing. You have not seen the property yet.
I imagine Drake's just, kind of smoking and thinking as we walk. And, I guess probably we're just trying to get there as quick as possible. So we had already spoken with the mayor about the gist of everything. So,
Yep.
Just more of a, this one is certainly a bit different from the usual fare of work that we have to deal with, I suppose. Generally, it is with some sort of rich, noble type or something.
And a lot of lost stuff too, like pets and silverware or whatever.
That's less common.
Is
That's
that
usually
is
that's
it just
the
me?
probational
Am I the catalyst for all the missing mundane bullshit that people have in their lives? Is it me?
Have you ever watched Naruto? It's like that, the low levels get low levels.
Never heard of it. What is that? Sounds spiky to me. I don't
Bunch
know.
of famous, scrolls of animated action. Never mind. It's a bad reference, probably. He just shrugs. And
Tala's not even barely paying attention. He's like reclining on Lucy's back, holding, dangling the watch above his head, looking at it move and shit like that.
It's catching the light real nice.
You ever had one of these appraised, theoretically, how much would one of these sell for? Just curious. Just slightly an off the cuff thought. Ooh.
He just, smokes and stares at you, probably very
So tell me when, Yeah, no, yeah, okay, never mind. I see. All right, fair enough.
Okay. You guys crest over the hill to see an enormous tangle of overgrown weeds and grasses, as well as some trees off in the distance that are a good 40 to 50 feet taller than the trees around them. The road leads to a small gate that has been overgrown with the twisting vines. Two guards stand on either side of the gate, and they kind of stiffen up as you guys walk over the hill.
I think that might be it.
What gives you that impression? Is it the giant fuck off trees, or? Well, that's it. Is it that?
It's mostly that, yes.
All right.
Drags on this.
Just like first impression, it's goblins, right? It has to be goblins. Like what's doing this?
This certainly looks to be the work of some sort of magic. I'm not sure that I would attribute it to goblins necessarily.
I mean, goblins are magical in their own way, but
sure. I mean,
like,
but like it is no more likely to be a goblin wizard, I don't think, than some other sort of. I don't think.
Are you saying I'm profiling? Is that should I not do that?
There may be some sort of pre-existing, predisposition toward thinking that a goblin is responsible for this. I'm not sure where that's coming from. He just shrugs. And
I don't want to talk about it.
One of the guards comes up to you guys and salutes and says, "Are you the Darning Watch?"
I should flash the old. Actually, you know what? No, Drake will be. He'll be nice. He'll wait and let Tallow.
Tallow stands up on Lucy's back, puts his hand on his side, and just holds the dangling watch up in front of him. You got to work for years to have one of these, you know.
Oh, I know. I respect you guys very much.
Oh, good.
We've got quite a sticky situation on our hands right now with the Sticklebrick property.
Seems more leafy, but all right.
Well,
is there a lot of sap, or?
I don't know. Anyone who's gone past this point has just disappeared. Not sure how sticky the situation is in a literal sense.
Right, that was a turn of phrase. Excellent. He nods. Like
you passed this test. Well done.
I got it. I understand. Anyway, when was the last team sent in?
Just maybe 18 hours ago.
Nods. And
have you heard anything like sounds, screaming?
Well, we've been here for the last 6 hours or so, and I've heard a few things. Rustling, something that sounds like maybe screaming, and call me crazy, but I swear something is singing.
Yeah, that's the 3 signs of you being crazy, I think. Sounds like goblins.
Really think so?
No. based off his look, no.
We will do our utmost to get to the bottom of this mystery. Just kind of nod a bit and say, has anyone been able to damage or make any significant progress in limiting the growth? And he kind of just gestures toward the friggin' 10-foot tall blades of grass or whatever.
He shakes his head and goes, "No, watch this." He walks over and he sweeps his sword across the base of the grasses. It cuts through them relatively easy as it's a very sharp sword, but as they fall, the broken off shoots begin sprouting back up, and then blooming new leaves. The grass that's been cut falls as real grass, but it shrivels and browns almost immediately till it looks like it's been cut, a season ago.
Do they grow bigger than they were when they were originally cut, or is it the exact same size?
Exact same size. Yeah, and this is the same with fire, with poison.
He nods.
We've check them off.
Tried a lot.
Did you try
goats?
Lightning?
Have you tried goats?
Well, funny enough, is one of the farmers next door did allow his cattle to graze on the field. He lost all but 2 of them.
Like dying or?
They just wandered into the grass and we never saw them again.
Oh, because otherwise this would be like, sort of a problem in one sense, but also sort of a really awesome situation in another.
If it wasn't for the whole disappearing thing, this would be a great resource.
I mean, you just close it off and it's fine, right? Like you just like put a big gate up.
Big fence,
it's
and
like a really
bend
fence.
some of the
that's
plants
your job,
out.
right? To figure out if that's necessary or not, or maybe if it's just
absolutely. This is hypothesizing theory. We're just spitballing. Potential solutions. Wrap a big cage around it is sort of
It's a 20
one of our
go-tos. Farm. That would be a really big cage.
You look over to Tallow, and he has a really giant, like worded list of just stupid things. He's crossed off fire and swords and goats. Lightning, massive question mark.
I like that goats is on there for like
it's
multi-purpose
out,
answer.
It's half crossed out, like he thought about it halfway through, and he's like, "We'll keep half of it on the list, like maybe."
Slanted.
No, it's your standard. This is like your standard operating procedure. Like everything there's any. How do goats handle the situation?
Goats work.
Is that the solution? Is it goats?
It's
maybe
goats all the way down.
Could be. You never know.
Goats and goblins. Yeah.
Try that right after fire.
That's it.
You hit it with the fire, then you hit it with the goats.
I'm
sorry.
Tallow is going to hop off Lucy's back and walk over, and he's going to touch one of the leaves and cast Detect Evil and Good.
It's neutral, but it's not evil or good.
Well, are there any aberrations, celestials, elemental, fae, fiends, or undead within 30 feet of me?
Not within 30 feet of you, no.
I hate that answer. I get it every time I use the spell from every DM.
Not within 30 feet?
Yeah, you don't, 30 feet, clean. Fuck,
clean.
Great.
That's close. Yeah, they're
squeaky clean.
They don't have a short bow. Why would they be within 30 feet?
Yeah. That would be dumb on their part.
Yeah, really. That's just bad planning. So this seems pretty obviously magical. Does it? I mean, I don't think that I need to like detect magic to get that vibe.
No, actually,
just
like
from having watched this.
Yeah, and I mean, you can as like even magic users, you can just feel the almost like fey energy radiating out of this place.
Yeah, no, that seems like the tip here. We're looking at fey adjacent things. Did you freeze, Eric? You good?
He's
there
Are we going? Oh, did I?
Yeah, you froze up there for a second.
Your camera was frozen on you just like dourly looking down.
Classic.
Very fitting.
No, yeah. I think he'll say something along the lines of, I guess, should we just like peace out back on in there or shrug?
I
go
don't like
look.
it. I don't wanna, but I think we have to. Or else this guy's gonna lose respect in me, and I can't have that.
I would too.
He'll tap him. He'll like pat him on the shin. Don't worry.
That is like less. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. He'll nod and probably flick the butt of that cigarette and.
You flick it into the fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to have no.
Try.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Maybe he'll start a forest fire. Get lucky, right?
Crosses fire off twice.
Right.
Cigarette butts. That's a second one.
That's your list. And that's the whole list.
Throw more cigarette butts at it. That is deeper than it should be.
It is.
Yeah.
Layers to that, like a Farfetch.
Good choice.
I'm gonna stop quoting Shrek now.
No,
I do it.
That's not required. But I think you'll, like, give a thumbs up and then, just like, shit. Oh man, I don't think I have like a meaningful amount of rope or string or anything like that.
Pockets full of paper. Just
no.
litter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that, but like,
Like a
not
trail crumb.
Yeah.
well, sure, but like that's not reliable, and I need those. That's my filing system, so I can't just like be tossing
Dropping
stuff
your
out willy
filing
nilly.
system, yeah.
Yeah, I mean either they already have important pieces of information on them, or I need them so that I can use them to keep other important pieces of information in the future.
Yeah,
But
and I don't really have anything on me that I could like. I also have a rope, so we'd have 100 feet of rope together.
It's a
It's
20-acre farm.
I mean, how many acres are feet really, you know?
Right. 1 acre is 43,000 square feet.
That's just like your opinion, you know.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And that's just 1 acre.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what? Fuck it. Talos is gonna walk in.
yeah, that's
Come on,
I
Lucy.
think we're just press through the plains of grass like that Homer gif.
Right, just disappearing. Just nose.
So yeah, you guys begin your descent into the overgrown trail. It is very difficult to get through as the grasses, like I said, are about 12 feet high and thick. They almost seem to cling to you guys as you move through the underbrush here. So you move for maybe 20 minutes or so, until you're good and in this thicket here.
We try and keep our bearings somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. And other than just like not that way.
So go ahead and roll me some survival rolls.
Okie doke. I'm not very good at those. Not that bad though either. This might work out.
So Tallow rolled a 9 and Drake rolled a 19. That's pretty good. That is enough.
I keep almost veering off the path. You have to like grab me by the fucking shirt.
Nope.
Wrong.
So which
that is the direction we came from.
I mean, most farms, the farmhouse is located somewhere in the middle of the property. So I assume you're going to try to head for the middle of this 20-acre area.
Yeah, if there's like a general incline, they put the house toward the higher point.
The highest point.
Were we on a path coming here?
Yes, but the property began with a gate that was overgrown with grass on the other side. So you guys basically stepped through the gate.
Would there be a cobblestone on the ground?
Yeah, you guys are. That's how Drake is going to end up traveling. Is you guys are going to follow this barely visible cobblestone path underneath the grass.
Is it like growing up through?
Oh yeah. And it's like shattering the cobblestones. Like it's breaking the cobblestones apart, and then it does look like that there's been several years of growth where you have grasses that have been grown up and then turned brown and like fallen down with new grasses coming up underneath it as like a farm field or something. Though this is obviously the middle of a path that was clean 4 days ago.
Is this supposed to be like a humbling thing? Like, oh, the power of nature can like do whatever the fuck it wants or something? I don't feel humbled. I'm kind of nervous.
I have never seen this before, so I am less than excited about trying to attribute this to anything natural, I suppose, especially in a place where nothing grows this big ever.
Well, you know, I
oh my god,
I grew up in the not the best area, and the farms. A lot of the kids there would always hope and pray that they'd have a bountiful year. Maybe this is something like that. Maybe they finally found a god that would listen to them, and they begged for something that might have had a bit of a different turnout.
As you say that, you guys pass near one of the large trees, and it seems like the shadow has kept the grass from growing quite as tall, making a small clearing. In this clearing, however, there are at least 10 humanoid shapes covered in bark and vines and roots that are attached to the ground in various poses.
Oh shit.
I don't think we should go near that.
We have to make sure they are likely one of the guard units or the family or.
Yeah, but like
I mean, they're not like moving around and
No,
stuff.
they are
assume.
frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotcha. Yeah. No. We should. I mean, they could just be very lifelike, topiary hedges or something.
I don't know
Can
any
look
of the
somewhere.
words you just said mean, but he's gonna reach down to the cobblestone, pick up a rock, and I want to try to hit one of them with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll. It's not too far away, but yeah, you plunk it off one of the things. It like the head region. Again, they look completely overgrown, but they're still humanoid in shape. You can see that there's like a trunk and then two limbs, and then the trunk kind of splits at the bottom sometimes. Other times it's just a bunch of roots. But yeah, you plunk it in the head, and it sounds like you just hit a small tree.
Well, nothing, spins around and spews abyssal or something.
All right, that's the in the Dawning Watch handbook that they gave me. It's like rule 1: always
Throw a
check
rock at it,
overgrown
yes.
people. Throw a rock at them. Yeah, that's what we do.
Unfortunate, I did not have the heart to tell you, but that was not a real rule book.
Wait, what do you mean? I told
just
me to read it 6 times.
I did, and
I read it 6
again,
times.
I'm sorry.
If it's 400 pages.
It was a funny joke.
When did you have the time to write that?
We should check out the tree people.
Hold on.
He goes over to like head over and quickly walk away from this like hush, you're thinking about the wrong part of the joke. And try and get a closer look at one of these,
Okay.
whatever one he just donked a rock off of, I suppose.
The nearest one seems to be kneeling. And you get close, and it looks like a humanoid-shaped tree. As you get closer, you can see something glinting inside the vines.
Oh, good.
It's like a piece of metal or something.
Just reach in there.
Sure.
From 20 feet behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure it's fine.
It seems okay to me. I don't know.
Right behind you, bud.
All the protocols fell out when he told me it was fake, so I got nothing for you.
That's true. No, to be completely. I mean, it was. I'm allowed to train you at my discretion. Technically, I don't think that
shouting across
as he's reaching in from the other. He's probably not really even paying that close attention as he sticks his hand in to get the shiny.
It feels like a piece of metal, large, maybe twice the size of your hand and rounded.
Okay, what portion of the tree
near its shoulder?
Okay, does it seem like it's probably a pauldron or some chunk of armor that's sticking out? Okay.
Yep. It seems to be partially fused to the wood itself, like what you see when a tree grows over a fence.
Can I throw some sort of investigation or arcana to see if there's any way to determine if this is a magic thing, if this is some feature of some beast, if this is like some weird
go ahead and roll me a arcana
anything
check.
along those lines.
Yeah, arcana. Absolutely arcana.
I am not good at that.
A 7. So you've heard of what you remember as a plant Medusa. If it looks at you, you'll turn into a plant.
Medusa. I see.
Yes, a Pledusa.
It's trying to think something. Closest I've got is Ferndon or Ferngone or something. It's not good. It's not a good joke. I don't know.
Think of like Gargan.
Oh, that's I like Gargan. That's cool.
Yeah, Gardgan. Anyway, that aside, he nods and says, "Yeah, exactly. It's like a plantalisk." There we go. That's
good. Did you just make that up? That's not real.
Maybe.
All right.
He spins around and walks back to the path with like purpose. I'm pretty sure that is the god unit. Does that match up with the numbers?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
10 people, right?
Yeah. 10 figures.
And that's both squads or just one?
Just one.
Okay. They unless the family is quite large and heavily armored, I believe that those are the gods.
You can never rule out these days. You know, everyone's preparing for the worst.
That's right. There's
so,
plantalisks running around.
Right. Apparently, with those fake things running around and being fake and
they
whatnot,
stare at you and boom, you're a tree. Just nods.
He's just staring at you, like the cant of his head can't go any further to the side. I don't. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna trust you on this one.
Probably pretty hard to tell if he's
technically still my senior, so I'll allow it. But
that's right. Don't you forget.
Don't you fucking forget.
All right, roll me another survival check to follow the path from this clearing.
Oh boy,
14. It's better. It's never mind.
Nice. Yeah, 14 and an 18.
Now I'm just trying to go left and right. I'm not trying to turn completely around anymore.
That's good.
You are able to continue following the path. Each of you make me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, also not good at those.
Trying to make sure I don't have any fancy pants nonsense. Nope, I don't. Okay. Solid.
All right.
I'm working real hard to justify the rule book this entire time.
All right.
I had every authority to train you by whatever means and method
you said
I
printed
found
it out
to be
for everyone.
You guys step into a clearing suddenly that doesn't seem to be made by a tree. It seems to be made by something that has pressed down the grass as like a deer. A place where like deer have laid down in a large field. The grass is bent over and flattened in a large area.
Does it seem like one body did this, or multiple did this?
One body.
Oh, good. How big are we talking?
Probably about half a size of a football field.
What? All right. Maybe we go home. Like overall, just weigh our options. Call backup. Can we do that? Can we call backup? Does that happen?
I am sure that there is a yes, but I mean, generally we die in the situation. Then they send people to recover the watches, which is sort of the backup.
Wait, does that mean this watch belonged to a person who's now dead?
He just kind of shrugs. And like,
I'm just learning new things about my business venture every day, huh?
It may have.
And I do recall in the book it said runnings for pussies keep going. So, as fake as that book is, we should probably keep moving.
That is an important rule to keep in mind.
I would,
at the forefront,
right?
At all times. Number 267A, subsection B.
You feel the ground shake slightly beneath your feet.
Well, I was about to say that you'd think we'd feel something moving around if it was this big.
I was going to say that.
I now understand that we might be in a pickle.
Or if it were
gets
very
louder.
tall, you would see it too. He looks around quickly, scans the kind of horizon and whatnot. Does it seem like there's anything?
Yeah, over the 12-foot grass, you can see a shape beginning to loom over it, coming towards the valley.
I'm going to hide.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay. 13. I have a +7. That's a bad roll.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad roll.
A good roll.
That's a poor roll.
We'll see.
Call that in the biz a bad roll. Mystery rolls a 5.
Just stand there staring and smoking.
You can just see the fucking trail. Cigarettes.
The grass parts as probably about a 35-foot cow with about 100 legs, all around giraffe, length, but running along the side of its body. It like stops and then turns and slowly looks at Drake and then licks him from toes to nose and then turns and continues on its way.
Oh my god.
It took your cigarette.
Yeah, your cigarette's gone. You're just
Just wet as hell,
Yeah.
I imagine. His hat's all crooked and
his hair is
yeah, the cowlick. Classic. Jesus.
Drake, are you alive? Currently.
I believe so.
Was that a cow or Pete?
I was going to say sent the cow.
Well, I like mine more, but
I think
we can
yours is
workshop
better.
it. Yeah, we'll figure it out. That didn't turn you to wood, though.
No. And I don't think a plantalisk made the cow a Pete.
I have several questions, and my view of reality is slowly diminishing.
It's shakily takes out another cigarette. No.
You hear
probably the most freaked out he's been in a long time.
From the end of the valley that you guys are headed to, who's there?
He'll quickly fix his hair and straighten his hat and light his cigarette. Gather himself.
That wasn't an owl, was it?
Oh God, I would hate to see the owls here. Excuse us. Is this these? Oh boy, sticky thicket, Sticklebricks. He looks back over. Hang on, and he digs around in one of his pockets for a scrap of paper. Keeps going through for several, I mentioned before.
Yes.
What was it? I can't seem to lay hands on the proper note here. He's right, exactly. Wonderful Sticklebrick.
You guys make it to the other side of the valley where the voice is coming from, and you see the shape of a small boy who's laying down. His entire body, except for his head, is vines that are sinking into the ground. His head is covered in a slight mossy texture, and his hair is going down into the ground as well as a long carpet of ivy.
I don't know if we're supposed to talk to strangers.
Please help me.
Drake.
He'll kind of drop down onto his haunches, down, sit kind of on his ankles, and try and act like this isn't
most fucked up thing you've ever seen. Yeah,
actually, this is nobody's been living in the other ones, I guess, but there's been some other fairly fucked shit that Drake has seen. It's along these lines. It will, but yeah, people growing out into weird fungal masses. This is the second time.
A fungal hop, if you will.
Gross. But he will drop to haunches and say, hello. Kind of look at him. How are you doing there?
I don't know if that's a good question.
I can feel the ground.
I imagine that you can. What's your name?
Johnny.
Okay, Johnny.
Johnny Sticklebrick.
How long has this, and he gestures toward him, been happening?
3 days. Ever since Daniel brought the box home.
What box is that?
He said that he bought magic beans.
Uh-huh.
And then he went into the barn to plant them, and then the music.
You feel in your back pocket, Drake, someone depositing coins. I told you were stupid for thinking it was magic beans, but you're right. Wow.
not the time.
I'm very sorry, child.
I appreciate you.
Child.
Yeah, grounds. He says, "Flower child." That's good. Anyway, he says, and when the music started, what happened next, Johnny?
Everything started growing, and my skin, it got itchy and rough, and so I ran as far as I could away from the barn, but it kept growing, and I fell down, and then I couldn't get back up. I've been here for 3 days photosynthesizing.
That's a big word, Johnny. It's very impressive.
Sal's laughing into his arm, trying really hard to be serious. Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Look, Johnny, you kind of look up and down his form. Are you hang in there? All right.
Can you fix me?
We're gonna figure that out. I believe that we are gonna do everything we can to straighten this whole mess out. You know, we're with the Darning Watch, Johnny, and
the Darning Watch.
It's our job to deal with things like this. And he nods slowly.
Or die, likely.
Just look over.
I said, or. I don't think it's gonna happen, but good.
If you're gonna go to the barn, watch out for the walkers.
And what are the walkers, Johnny?
They're some kind of living tree plant that they've been moving around.
He looks over in the plantalist.
That's not what it is.
They have long claws, and they're covered in bark and thorns.
He nods. We will, we'll keep an eye out, Johnny. Can you, stops himself from saying point us. Can you direct us toward the barn from here, Johnny? We're a bit disoriented here.
He flips his eyes over and says, "That way. Follow the rest of the path. It'll take you to the barn where Daniel planted the seed."
Excellent. Okay.
Although meaning the hay fever. Yeah, because he's like a plant. Sorry. Tala's gonna bend down and touch Johnny's forehead and cast Lesser Restoration.
The plants subside for a little bit. You see the roots start sliding back into his body, but then you hear some kind of faint music coming from the area. It is beautiful, and it actually, like, it's some of the most incredible music you've ever heard in your life. It sounds a cappella almost, and Johnny begins crying again, and all the vines reappear, and the plant grows even thicker.
Oh, well, okay.
Drake is taking wads of paper and just roughly stuffing them into his ears, like immediately, I think, at that, watching this occur.
Talos tapping his foot along to it.
Like, oh my god, this is not good. It's
what?
Generally half elf. I said this is probably not good. Here, do you want some paper?
Oh, I love this
stuff
song.
into your head. What?
You'll probably have to do it for
the song does abate after Johnny regrows.
Quickly, Johnny, before you become a lawn gnome, where did you say your brother left the box that had the beans?
He opens his mouth, but instead of words, roots spill out.
Good answer. Let's get
We
out of here.
should go to the barn.
He looks terrified.
I'm not sure there's anything we can do for Johnny right now.
Motioning.
Just loudly from about like 10 feet away.
I'm going to need you to roll me another survival check, guys, to make it to the barn.
He's going to offer another handful of like random wax paper scraps and parchment bits. Solid roll there.
2.
In front of
Nice.
in front
This
of
is going
Johnny,
great. We're
I'm
whooping
going
that ass.
to leave a ration in front of him before we go.
Okay.
The off chance.
I mean, he's photosynthesizing now. He's cool on that
Is
front,
he
I think.
fine? I guess he's fine. He's more energy efficient.
Roots
now,
just
anything.
spilled out of his mouth. It's not like he's gonna be able to. I don't.
So
Well, when he wakes up later,
we rolled a 2 and a 4 on the old survival check there.
Could Lucy give it a shot?
No.
School.
Damn it.
Lucy did not understand the directions we were giving.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
She could actually. No, wait. Is that your
we
like,
have a
fine
mental,
steed or whatever?
It's my fine steed.
It is smarter
Sure.
than an
All right.
average
I
bear,
will
but it's not
allow
like
you to
smart
roll a
person.
survival check for Lucy.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
7.
A 7.
Better than ours.
Better
You're
than
not,
either. Both
yeah,
of ours
you're not gonna to lose your way entirely. You guys walk for another while. Before in the tall grass you hear rustling. Looking down, you realize that you don't see any cobble bits anymore. You've lost the trail. And there's something hunting you in the long grass.
Maybe it's Johnny.
What?
Can't come out of your ears. What are you doing? I've been talking.
Look, I don't want to be a plant. Okay, he says.
You're screaming and the fucking thing over there. He's just pointing at the bush that keeps rustling. Yeah, it's
What?
screaming. Or wait, you're screaming and it's there.
Oh, what's there now?
I don't know. Impending doom.
Hello, is there someone out there? He'll turn.
Grass parts, and this is 12-foot grass, and so the visibility is you've like maybe 10 feet. So as 10 feet in front of you, you see this form move forward, and it looks humanoid, though it is exaggerated in arms and legs, and the its chest area looks like the trunk of a tree with large sticks coming out representing rib bones. There are floating what look like spiritual butterflies on the inside of its chest, and its eyes are aglow with what look like lightning bug, just those bioluminescent lights. As it sees you, it stretches out its long branch-like arms tipped with the needle claws and roars at you. The sound is haunting, like
it's friendly.
Wind passing through empty trees.
Is it making like actively aggressive actions? Or is it just...
It's making the kind of actions that like a hunting animal does when it's found its prey.
So we need to roll initiative.
Yes, please.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh boy.
All right.
Good.
So it rushes forward, and it brings its arm down across Tallow, trying to knock you from your steed.
Holy shit! It's a plantalisk.
Don't look at it.
Does a 16 hit you?
No.
All right. So you are able to block it.
Yeah, I bring the shield up really fast.
It roars at you again.
Do you want to go first, good sir, or would you like me to?
You know, you got the better modifier. Why don't you take it?
Okay. Okay.
That's how it used to work. Back in the day. That way I don't have to make decisions.
I like that. I respect that. I'm going to swing my scimitar at it.
Okay.
Twice.
The 18 hits. The 10 doesn't seem to make purchase on its rough, barky hide.
I don't know why it's giving me extra radiant damage. I think that's on the off chance I'm using smite.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not.
So you
10
damage. That's pretty good. You hit this thing and knock off a large portion of its woody ribs and body. It doesn't seem very happy with you, and a few of the butterflies in its chest fly away.
Aim for the butterflies.
Drake.
They seem upset.
He nods and gets, squares up like he's getting ready to box with this thing that's, I imagine, twice as tall. I don't remember how tall.
It's about 8 feet tall, so maybe not twice as tall, but it's pretty tall.
Yeah, this is vaguely reasonable.
Oh, so I cut like its leg.
Yeah, basically.
Right, like a baby.
You were on Lucy, and then.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
A bit of size. Lucy's huge.
Right?
He's like a pony size.
So sorry, right? Punching. I believe that he will just be running forth and doing with the punching of the faces.
That seems to be Drake's deal.
That is his go-to. Yeah, man, yeah. I don't think there's anything else of significant value here. Not a good one.
The 9 does not hit.
Let me see here. Believe I may flurry of blows this time. I'll spend a key point and get 2 unarmed strikes out of the.
Excellent.
Oh boy.
All right, the 23 hits, but the 7 does not.
Alrighty. So
9 bonking
big
damage.
Punch.
Nice. All right, this thing is not looking very good. It's standing on like one leg now, as the other leg was blasted away by Drake.
If he can, he tries to jump up and get an uppercut in there as he stoops down. But yeah, wherever he's able to do damage, absolutely.
All right, so it is going to give me a second here. Look up a spell here real quick. Yeah, okay. It is going to cast Shillelagh on one of its arms, growing it into a giant knotted club, and it's going to try to smash Drake with the Shillelagh club.
Oh shit.
Oh wow, it rolled 2 1s there.
Sweet.
So it misses horribly. So go ahead, Tallow, your turn.
Fuck yeah.
I want to try to cut that arm off as it's missing Drake.
Fuck yeah, there you go.
I will take 2 quick swings with the scimitar, kind of like how he used to chop wood for his family. It's bringing him back to his youth. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
And that's a natural 1.
Wow. So you got your
full
balance
gambit.
In all
full
things.
gambit. Yeah. So go ahead and roll me the damage on that. You're probably going to cut him into bits. 7 damage.
7 damage. Not
is
great.
Respectable, but that is enough to chop him in half.
Follow the arm down, cutting up and through the body.
All right.
Release the butterflies.
So yeah, it falls into pieces, turning into just regular wood.
Admittedly, I looked at it and did not turn into a plant. So
all right.
It may not have been a plantalisk.
Can you? I know you wrote it down. Can you please cross it off?
He nods and pulls out, the
he just sits on Lucy's
burger
waiting.
wrapper and marks it off.
That off yellow wrapper that everyone has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Takes out a piece of charcoal or something that he's got in one of his other pockets.
I'm going to assume that that's what Johnny was calling the walkers. Johnny Walker.
That is probably what. Yes, I think that is a fair assessment. Now, where the hell are we? Perhaps stuffing my ears while trying to find our way through the woods was not the best strategy.
Well, it was almost as if you stuffed your eyes too, because it was a
you
path
should have
that
said something.
Well, I did. I kept saying, "Are you sure we're going in the right direction? There's no cobblestone here." And you went, "What?" I went, "Okay."
That sounds right. Yeah,
think
I
I was
believe that I
enabling
did
you,
say
though,
what
so
several
at the same
times.
time.
All right, yeah, guys, roll me a survival check again to see if you
Oh
can
my
make it back to
goodness.
the path. Tallow, you're very bad at this.
You are. This is impressively not great.
How do I get a natural 20 and then just nothing else?
Right?
How does that happen?
No. That's good old.
This fair?
Numbies, bro.
All right, thank you that we can move the story forward. All right, so yeah, Drake rolled a 20 on that survival check while Tallow rolled a 2. So again, Drake is going to be kind of, nope, this way.
I'm just going by, like all halflings have a natural compass, and
Just
we
gonna
all follow
grab
it.
Lucy's
It's not
lead
moral.
here, and she will keep you on track.
You guys are able to find the path again, and you lead. You follow it for another couple of miles, passing through these long, overgrown grasses. You come to a part of the grasses that begin to get more colorful, as if the long grasses have started to turn into wildflowers. They're gorgeous and very, very pretty. You pass by a couple, and I guess roll me perception checks.
Okay. Fuck.
Tallow rolled a 3.
And a 20, technically.
Well, yeah, but
Throwing
It's
them advantage.
3 that matters.
Keep dropping decent rolls on stuff that probably isn't quite as well. The finding the way is
Drake.
big. Anyway.
Among the wildflowers, you see several shapes that are underneath them, a little ways off of the path. They look vaguely human-sized.
Oh, dicks.
What?
Well, hello. We are with the Dawning Watch. Are you plant people?
There's
you
no
talking
response from the
They'll
shapes.
gesture off in that direction.
They're
Oh,
maybe 10
dicks.
feet off the path, underneath a particularly large group of wildflowers.
I think they might be plants. He'll look over.
They look like flowers. Actually, I can't really see what you're looking at.
Okay, here, and he'll kind of pull him around and direct him to
Pick
see
him up
that.
like Simba.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Right there.
Oh no, I see him. Yeah, okay, they're there. All right.
Yeah, just hold your sword straight, and I will direct. Okay, there. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I see now. Yes, this makes sense to me.
That's a silly. I like that.
You can kind of tell from where you guys are standing that they are breathing.
There's
we
a
should
rise
go
and
and
fall.
look into that.
Yeah.
I do. I don't trust the flowers. If I'm being honest, that's a weird thing for me to say, and I don't like that I had to say it. But if they're in there, they might be in that state because of the flowers that they're in. Because the prettiest things in nature are normally the scariest, like spiders and trees.
I'm sorry. Did you say spiders are pretty?
No, like they got like pretty colors, like the frogs that kill you if they look at you, frog organs.
Yes, frogolisks.
Frogolisks, right. The scariest part of the southernmost areas. They look at you once and
you turn into frogs.
and then it's it's a cyclical thing. It keeps happening.
Oh God.
That's actually horrifying.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And basically demons. You're like Slad, more or less. Ugh.
Like an old scroll called Black Mirror I used to read.
It is, yes, it is very much like that kind of, a fantasy version of that sort of scenario. Hell not. But we need to figure out what we are dealing with. And if they are still breathing, there may be some way that we can assist them. Or
can you
perhaps
detect the magic on these things? Do the magic of detection or whatever.
I will give it a shot here. I suppose.
All right.
And he'll use his racial ability
Okay.
feature to cast detect magic without a spell slot or what have you.
All of the flowers are lousy with enchantment magic.
You might be onto something.
I'm feeling that, yeah. I'm getting like a little brain thing. Like thinking, but like better.
Idea.
Like better. That's the one.
He nods.
Do you have a fishing pole on you? Actually, Tallow is going to reach into Lucy's saddlebag. Because obviously she has one.
Right. No. Yeah.
And a saddle. And I'll bring out the rope and I'll tie it pretty similar to like a lasso.
Okay.
All right, hold me up like a small lion cub from a big company.
Yeah,
And,
being shown off by
right,
some sort
show
of
me.
baboon shaman.
You're right.
Gotcha.
Very specific, but yeah, that works.
I know exactly what you mean.
He's going to wind it up and try to fish for
All right.
these people. At least one person.
Roll me
if
a
he can.
dexterity check.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no use rope skill here.
I guess I'll just do a 20 plus my 4.
Okay.
14?
14. All right. So the first thing you notice is you throw this rope and it hits a bunch of the flowers as it flies, over to them. Every time a flower gets hit, you see what look like glitter fall out
Spore
of the
sort of
inside.
shit.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like multicolored and it flashes in the sun. You are able to rope part of one of these sleeping figures. And
Not the neck, I hope.
No, not the neck. It
Okay.
looks like you've got maybe a foot.
Okay. And I'm going to slowly start pulling the rope over to
All right.
us.
As you pull, more of this stuff falls down from the flowers, and after you and Drake have pulled enough, what is in front of you is a sleeping guard in full guard outfit uniform. He is.
All right, that makes sense.
What? That he is napping. That's where he's been. He has been on an extended nap.
Well, it seems as though we might have a bit of a sleeping flower syndrome sort of thing going on here.
I knew all incarnations of glitter were evil.
That is true. It gets everywhere. You can't get this shit out of anything. But I will say it might be best for us to leave him sleeping here until we figure this out. Waking him up would only be worse, I assume.
Yes, as they say, leave sleeping gods
to lie
yes,
in flower beds.
I
They
believe
say
that's
that.
a thing.
Yeah, they've said that. I know. I don't know who they are, but they said it.
He will kind of poke at the guy a bit. He seems like he's breathing normally. He doesn't seem like he's covered in plant stuff or anything yet.
Nope. You do notice that his ears are plugged with paper and wax.
See, point again. Like at the,
yeah, I mean, yeah, like it worked until it didn't.
Well, I mean, it seems that he found himself in, the glitter rain situation over there, right? Perhaps.
Do you think we need to plug our ears up for the long haul?
I mean, I was already in favor of it before we had any evidence to support its efficacy. And he kind of just, but I guess this is as good evidence against. And he shrugs. I don't think that I'm unbiased. What's your call?
I want to make sure that Lucy doesn't get turned into a lucipede. So if we got to plug our ears, I'll do it for her.
He nods. That is going to be a bit of a process to stuff your dog's ears.
He'll
but we'll go about it.
He'll take off the laces from his backup shoes and he'll put
Sorry, backup shoes.
well, after we walk through the swamp, he bought new shoes to make sure that he never had to go through a swamp in one pair of shoes again.
Then you have the old swamp shoes now for whenever you have to
in case I
go
need
through
to
a
use,
swamp.
horrible
That makes
swamp
sense.
situation.
I always had creek shoes growing up.
Right,
It makes
exactly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll take the laces off those, and he'll take some fabric, maybe like an extra shirt or some socks or
Sure.
something, put them over her ears, and then tie them up around the ear base with the laces.
I love it. It's like a little,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, tied at the top in a bow.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. She looks beautiful.
Need to get
love
her
it.
like a blanket and some knitting.
I mean, we can work on that when we're not in horrible plant country.
Sure. But I think if we take pictures and then show it to people, it would get like a lot of laughs.
All right, fair. Yeah, we'll go back to the town with all the people with missing pets, and we'll show them a lovely little pet diagram.
Look how much she looks like a grandma.
Talow's already stuffing his ears.
Oh man, yes.
All
I'll
right.
go about it
What?
as well.
Well, you guys have sufficiently stuffed your ears, and you follow the rest of the path. The grasses get a little bit shorter, while other plants like woody trees and bushes have grown even larger in size. You finally arrive at what was the ruined barn and farmhouse of the Sticklebrick family. You can see that the entire thing has been destroyed by plant life. The building has been just dismantled by roots and vines coiling. And these are plants that are, while you can kind of tell they're native, they have been mutated horribly. So there is oak trees with fractalized leaves, where each leaf is made up of 1,000 smaller leaves, and each of those leaves is made up of smaller leaves. There are flowers that seem to be blooming within themselves, as in each flower petal has a flower on top of that. Vines coil around vines as trees grow on top of each other and within their own branches. Crazy flowers of every kind and every color are all around you, some as large as your head. You can see in the center of the ruined barn there is a spot that nothing grows, just bare what looks like, dirt covered in a small layer of hay. And then in the center of that, a very strange tree grows. It is in the shape of a pedestal that is, it grows up on a trunk and then its branches grow out almost as like cupping something. And inside there is what looks to be a flame in the shape of an angel. It is a figure that is smaller than a human, maybe about 3 feet tall.
My size.
Your size, yeah. But it is proportioned as a human, so it's like a smaller version of a human with wings. And it is pulsating, growing larger and then smaller, and then larger and then smaller, as if it's breathing. When it grows larger, you can feel the song in the back of your teeth. Though you can't hear it, the vibrations coming off this thing are enough that you can feel it. Almost as if you're so close to a bass at a rock concert that you can feel the bass coming off of it. That's where you guys are right now.
I'm gonna wave to Drake, and I'm just gonna pantomime the cutting neck motion.
He just kind of waves at first and looks back over at the tree, and he's what? But no, yeah, he nods and says, all right, and he's like, and like punching doesn't work so good with trees usually. Say like real loud, and then like pantomime punching, and then like
actually punch a nearby tree.
Yeah, it'll just like bam. And then like, see,
the tree
not great.
The tree gets up onto its roots and moves over 2 feet before planting itself again.
Okay, maybe it will work.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So Also, sorry, tree.
It was for example purposes. It was not intended aggressively. Just talking loudly at the tree.
What do we do? Do you got like a bucket of water on you or something in one of those pockets?
He just looks at you like
What?
smoke, takes a drag of his cigarette,
I'm
and then like
curious.
looks down at his person like, no, I do not have a filled bucket of water.
That's
on my person.
one option down. Next option.
I do have a water skin, but I'm not sure it is enough to douse a 3 to 4-ish foot flame person. He's kind of looking on at the tree.
I'm gonna go hit it.
Okay.
And hope that a sword is sharper than fire.
My fist.
And your fist at the same time.
If that doesn't work, I will punch it.
I would recommend.
Gives you a thumbs up.
I'd likely recommend against punching it. Fire, burnt, whatever.
Sure, but we got to rule it out.
He's already.
All right. So
I'm charging on Lucy.
All right. So when you get 60 feet from the flame, the music is so loud that you can hear it through the earplugs that you have. Though you're wearing earplugs, I will give you advantage on this Constitution saving throw.
Ew.
That's a 10.
All right. So as you roll a Constitution save for Lucy as well, please.
It's a 17 because she has her ear advantage too.
Yes. As you guys approach this this space, you notice that Lucy's skin becomes bark-like. Your skin also becomes bark-like. Neither of your ACs can drop below 12, no matter what armor you're wearing. You, however, continue to turn more into a tree. Your feet become like stumps. Your toes retract back in, and roots dangle down where they used to be. Your feet, your movement is reduced by 10 feet. As long with your barky skin, you also notice that there is a very deep stiffening of your joints, as if they are growing together. You can now take only one action or a movement, and you cannot dash.
Can Lucy be my movement?
Yes, she can. She is not affected by the movement, the downside yet.
Perfect.
I envision you're like growing into her, basically.
Yeah,
right. We're like growing into a centaur, and my sword is like grown into my arm.
Yep.
Guitar.
At least I had the sword out. That's good. I mean, if you turn to wood, your punches are cooler.
That's pretty awesome.
I need you to
tree person with a blade hand.
We're gonna go ahead and roll initiative. Go ahead and make sure you select your token when you roll.
Certainly.
21.
Nice.
18.
Well done.
Better.
All right, and then when you get into that 60 feet, you notice that one of the large branches on the strange-looking trees gets down. It is one of the walkers.
Fuck.
Heads up.
I'm gonna. Oh man, what's Lucy's movement? Oh shit.
Probably 50.
I'd say like, 40
horse
feet.
Is 50. Yeah, so somewhere in that.
Lucy's smaller than a horse, so I'd assume less movement.
I can look up dog real quick in 5e.
Okay.
I think
10 feet because they're lazy.
No, 25 feet.
Wow.
Yep.
Mastiff has 40.
Oh.
That's medium.
Yeah, go ahead and use Mastiff.
Oh, okay. No, that's what she is.
Is a Mastiff.
Yeah, she's a Mastiff.
So she's got 40 feet of movement. Yep.
That is a CR 1/8 rather than probably like a 0 or whatever though.
So the walker rolled an 11. So Tallow, what would you like to do?
I'm going to charge up 40 feet on Lucy.
Okay.
She can't dash on my turn. That wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Ooh. I have spells. Not great spells.
Classic mazes and monsters quote there.
Okay. I cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay.
And I choose Fey.
Cool.
Assuming that this is a Fey creature.
Cool.
We'll see. I assume
they have a disadvantage on
right.
attacking me.
Excellent.
And I can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them either.
Excellent. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Make me another Constitution save with advantage.
Perfect. 12.
All right. With a 12. And Lucy as well, too.
Lucy.
Yep, with advantage.
Lucy's an 18.
All right.
Lucy's doing solid.
So Lucy doesn't change further. You, however, continue transforming into a tree beast. Your movement is reduced by another 5 feet.
Okay. I assume by the end of this, I'll just be able to do a chopping motion like an action figure.
All right.
Bad articulation from fucking like Dollarama or something.
All right, Drake, you see your this take place as he is within the last 6 seconds turned into a lot of tree.
Stump on a dog.
Yeah, stump on a dog.
Totally ignoring that it probably has something to do with the blind charge forward. I think he is going to he's got to do something similar here, I think. And let me see what he can do. Okay. I think he's just going to be moving his 40 feet forward.
Okay.
Because he's all fast like that. I'm as fast as your dog.
Oh, good.
Shit. Okay. He's gonna spend a key point to step the wind so he can dash on this turn as well. And he will also be casting. Let me link it here. I think it's called Divine Favor. Yes, Divine. Oh, that's the bonus action. So he won't spend the key point. He'll just dash with his regular action because apparently this is a bonus action spell. My bad. It gives him a plus 1d4 radiant damage when he attacks with his main hand, and then he will move forward another. It'll be 80 feet altogether with spending his action on the dash. So he's going to be pretty much right behind.
All right. The same thing applies once you reach that 60-foot border.
Okay. Do you want me to stop there and then start recalculating my movement?
Exactly. Okay. Yep.
So we'll give you a con save.
Yep, with advantage because your ears are plugged. Yep.
Happy we did the ears.
See,
not like it's helped.
It was bad.
All right. 14. So your skin becomes barky, and your your movement is reduced by 5 feet. So I will allow you your dash action. It's only lowered by 5, not 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just the second. Gotcha.
Right.
So you're now at 1 square.
Yeah, further back.
Yep. And your feet, your legs are becoming stiff and woody.
All I hear behind me is clunk, 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 clunk.
He'll say okay, look down as he's getting kind of covered up, but he's I think he's probably like bows his head in short prayer or whatever as his brass knuckles in his main hand like light up the runes on him and whatnot, gets ready to attack with that, and then is realizing afterward that he's like covered in Plant junk.
Yep.
That's not great.
At the end of your turn, roll me another Constitution save.
Oh, joy.
With advantage.
Are his attacks with his fists better if they're made of wood?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't increase your damage.
15.
All right, 15. Your AC cannot be reduced below 12, but you lose another 5 feet of your movement.
Okay, down to 30.
All right, it is the walker's turn. It is going to move. 2, 3, 4.
I am concerned.
It is going to attempt to charm you, Tallow.
I cannot be charmed by fake creatures.
Automatically fails. It
Whammo.
tries to use this ability here, called Fey Charm. But it does not affect you.
What a novel.
Yeah, it's a pretty big novel.
It is.
But yeah, long and short of it, you don't even have to make the wisdom saving throw because you automatically succeed. It roars in frustration. Tallow, it's your turn.
I try to flip it off, but it's just a branch goes up through the middle of my finger. Yeah. Right. We're going the whole way, baby. I'm charging right up to this thing, and I'm going to take a swing at it.
Pain.
2 swings.
All right.
If I can. I think I can since it's still in action.
Yep.
Yeah, right up to it.
All right. You can only move. You can't make an action, remember?
Oh, that's my dog, though.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Though, Lucy's been the MVP for me. Lucy's
Right.
been my absolute Chad. So, 17 and a 19.
So the 19 hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
The 17 doesn't hit.
17 doesn't hit.
A thing.
And I will pump a smite into it
Okay.
at level 2. So a 2d8. Or no, level 1's 2d8, right?
Yeah, it starts at 2d8, goes up by a d8 from
level 1's fine.
All right.
So 20 damage.
20 damage. So your sword makes contact, and there's a bright flash, and a shower of sparks come out of this this tree when you strike it. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. You have advantage because of your protection from good and evil.
19.
19. All right, so you are not affected. And Drake is too far away.
Does Lucy need one too?
Yes. Actually, yeah, make me a wisdom save for Lucy too. Yep.
I'm
she
not
does
going to add
have
any
advantage.
Yeah.
You didn't protect her. Good news.
20.
God damn. All right. Yeah, Lucy saves too.
17 if you take away the 3 wisdom, but we share like a mental thing.
Yeah, that's still good enough to make the save.
Lucy is a fucking hero.
It really is. All right, at the end of your turn, Tallow, you have to make me another Constitution saving throw, but you do not have advantage as the song is deafening.
Okay. Is this Fey related?
Yes.
Would it have anything to do with the protection from good and evil?
Unfortunately, not this level of Fey magic.
Okay, it's like hyper strong.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
All right. Your movement is reduced by 20 feet.
Oof, I have no feet of... I cannot move.
You are rooted to the ground.
To Lucy?
You're rooted to Lucy, yes. Roll me a...
Expert.
Lucy rolled a 15.
She got a 15.
All right, her speed is reduced by 5.
That's fine. So 35.
You have disadvantage on all ability checks, as you are mostly plant now.
Oof.
And you can only take 1 movement or 1 action, and you cannot dash. Just continuing. All right, so yeah, you are turning into mostly like it's. All right, Drake, it's your turn.
Alrighty. I think he's gonna. Let's see.
Tallow is now part of Lucy.
It's it's kind of how we've always existed.
Yeah. Does it seem like the sword swipe did meaningful?
Yes, it did. You can see there is a slice in the trunk of the tree that is radiating this bright energy, almost like the sun.
Okay. All right. We will. Man, that extra 10 feet, that hurts right now. Then I will. This time for real, he will actually use his step of the wind to dash at the bonus and move forward. Unless I don't remember you saying that wasn't one of the that he can't dash.
No,
yet.
you have not. Yeah, you have not rolled that
Cool.
bad yet.
Cool. So yeah, he'll get to try and run around the dryad here.
Okay.
Or the big tree ant boy. And then get in next to there, and he will run forward and punch.
The amalgam that is Tallow and Lucy.
Yeah, it's nasty right now.
To Lucy.
It's gross in there.
Wow.
I mean, she's mostly fine. She's just kind of barky. Like that's it.
She's just barky.
She's pretty barky as a general.
Right,
Her
generally.
legs are a little bit roots now. Your movement is reduced by 5 feet, so
it's worse.
We slither on roots now. We don't run.
Oh, that's awful.
It is awful. I hate it too.
Oh, that shouldn't have been an advantage. It'd be a 17.
It's 17. That is not enough to hit.
Wasn't it enough before?
No, he rolled a 19 and a 17.
No, you're right.
Yep, the 19 was enough.
Did not hit before. That's a shame. Boo.
Is that the end of your
Thunks
turn?
Into that's he bonus action to run up there was his action to take that swing.
All right, so go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw. Again, you do not have advantage as the song is like inside of your head now.
You wouldn't consider this a charm or anything that
it's
Fey ancestry would help with.
No, unfortunately, this is like raw Fey magic.
You know, like the stuff that my elven ancestry is associated.
Right, but like even elves would turn into plant beasts.
Okay.
Like it's a 14.
It really does just say like charms and sleep effects or something like that.
A 14, your speed is reduced by another 5 feet.
Getcha. Down to 25.
All right, and then it is the Dryad's turn. The Walker. It is going to turn and attempt to beat you with a shillelagh club, Drake.
That'll hit.
Yeah, so you were busy punching this, and it just goes thunk right on top of your head with a 26. 12 bludgeoning damage to your head.
Ouch there. Oofda.
That'll buff out.
Buff right out.
That'll buff right out. Not a problem. You are made of bark.
All right, the end
I think
of
he's gotten hit in the head a lot.
the Dryad's turn. At the top of the order, the bush is going to erupt in another shower of sparks.
I do need to make a concentration save here real quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Boom. Half the damage. Yeah, DC 10 or half the damage. It would be 10.
10,
We're
so you
good.
saved
I
it.
can't keep my divine favor.
All right. So it calls out, and more Dryads wake up around you.
Oh my god.
They are going to move on the red Dryad's turn.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of Dryads.
Yes, the bush is trying not to die.
Well, it better watch out.
Tallow, it is your turn.
I would like to hit the thing.
All right.
Operative word is like to. One's an 18.
An 18 is enough to hit it.
Okay.
That is its AC.
I will level 2 smite this thing.
All right. Damn, you might kill it.
All right, so this will be an additional 3d8.
Wow.
One more D8 than it rolled there.
Yep.
So plus an additional d8 is 4. So 25.
Yeah.
All right. So with a mighty swing, you slice the bush off at the trunk. there is a enormous gout of flame as the flaming figure kind of melds into a bonfire that shoots up into the sky. As it burns, you see all the strange anomalous plants begin to break down into dust and ash and fly up with the fire, including all of the strange bits that have covered you guys as well. Your bark skin and long tenderly feet begin to break back up into regular feet and normal skin. The area around you settles down and turns back into the pastoral farmland that is famous for Arboria. On the ground in front of you, where the bush was, you find a small black bean that has a rune stamped on it in the shape of a very stylized leaf.
You all right, Drake? You good?
I think that we were both nearly plants.
Yeah, it's weird. I was hungry when we got here, but I took in some sunlight a few minutes ago, and like I'm great. I've never felt
Just
more
like
full in
taking
my
out a
life.
cigarette.
Out from a bit of the rubble, a 14-year-old boy stands up and looks around and goes, "Whoa, what happened?"
It's not Johnny, right?
No,
It's the other ones.
Daniel.
It's weird that you named them Dan and John, which is my brother and I's name. That's weird.
Stop fucking around with magic beans, John.
Yeah.
God.
I
It's
get
Dan's
it's
fault,
really,
really.
it's technical. That makes sense. What a fucking retard.
No.
I take it you're Dan, the one who did all the fuck shit.
I planted that bean. What? I don't remember anything after that.
I don't remember in the handbook. Do you hit him? Are we supposed to teach him a lesson?
What happened to the farm?
Your magic beans destroyed and nearly killed. Well, potentially still could have killed everyone you know and love. I think Johnny might be okay. It's at least 50-50 odds.
He was
but I've
vomiting
seen no one else yet.
Plant last time we saw
Yes,
him.
that's true.
I left him with a ration, though. He should be fine.
I'm sure that'll, clear it all right up. That or the murdering the fire Tinkerbell tree thing.
Tinkerbell tree.
Points over at the bush you.
No, it's gone. It turned into ash and dust and reduced itself
the general
back to
direction
the
where it was. Then I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know go over to the bean and fish around in his pockets for a fresh burger wrapper, and
we still have the teacup or the tea kettle. Put it in that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The glass enclosure teapot.
No, you gave no. Yeah, you trapped the mouse in that, and you gave it to the Dark Watch.
Oh, you're right.
Anymore. Yeah. But yeah, so you're gonna pick it up in a burger wrapper.
Yep. I'm just kind of like
picking up dog
shit.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels strangely heavy and almost alive. You almost feel like there's a heartbeat inside of it.
Okay, so future reference. If you see something that's otherwise natural inscribed with some sort of magic looking rune thing, maybe don't fuck with it so much. Just kind of shrugs.
But they said it was magic.
And it clearly was.
Very.
Out of the ruins of the farmhouse nearby the barn, a few hundred feet away, come Mr. and Mrs. Sticklebrick. Running
They've been
down
fine the entire time. They've been like in their house.
My goodness, have you seen it outside? There were plants everywhere.
Our farm has become such an amazing place.
The elder Sticklebrick comes up to you, Drake.
Sticklebrick Senior.
Sticklebrick
yes,
Senior.
Mr. Sticky Britches. Puts a hand out toward him.
That's their name.
That's Sticklebrick, but we appreciate
Sorry.
what you've done. My wife and I were bushes for 3 whole days.
There wasn't even sunlight in there, was there? It was horrible, I assume.
We were starving to death.
Right. Oh, Johnny's
sounds really unpleasant. Potentially.
Thank God. Oh, Johnny survived.
Have we confirmed that? He looks over at you.
He's got a ration. He's okay. He's gonna make it.
He was vomiting plant, but I guess if you were bushes, there's a good chance for Johnny. That
I mean,
we were
we
still
were
talking
like
with him at one point.
lawn decorations too, so I feel it.
I was no such thing. I just had a bit of a skin thing.
Tallow's been off Lucy, pacing, remembering how it is to have legs again this entire time.
Drake just keeps kind of awkwardly scratching at places. Just not still bark that right. Good. Okay.
Do you still have the box that had the beans in it?
Daniel says, oh, hang on. And he goes over and he roots through some of the wood that he came out of.
Don't say roots.
And it brings back the box. It's a simple wooden box. Inside is a leather cushion with a small indent.
All right, that's ours.
All right.
Snatch it out of the kid's hand, and he'll push him also.
My carry. You're a bully. That was unnecessary.
I'm smaller than the 14-year-old boy.
True, you probably are.
Push his thighs.
Still a bully.
And he'll open the box for you.
Little people.
Do we want to keep him in here?
And
turn this to
sure. And he'll put the balled up, crumpled up hamburger wrapper with the bean in it on the little leather pillow.
I'll take one of the shoestrings off Lucy's ear, and I'll tie the box up.
Nice.
Good
Beautiful.
call.
Yeah, there's bits of hamburger wrapper still sticking out of the sides, but yeah, it's mostly closed. Yeah.
Still kind of greasy.
Yeah, a little bit greasy.
Of course, obviously.
Duh. It's food.
It's wax paper for a reason. Okay, so it keeps
Right.
the good stuff on it, not lets it,
right. So you can eat the
whatever.
cheese that melted onto it
Right.
later when you're very.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, why would I have it?
Yeah.
The old farmer says, I have something that I'd like to give you. He says to Tallow, with my bush senses, I was able to ascertain what you did to save my boy. So I have something very near and dear to the Sticklebrick family that I'd like you to have.
Is it a brick?
Memento. No. He comes out with it's a small sack, about the size of a sock made of burlap, wrapped with a simple wooden rope. He says, here is the family potato sack. Now,
The family potato sack.
once a day, if you reach your hand in, you'll find a potato. As long as
Kind of great,
as
actually.
long as you take that potato out, another potato will be in there the next day.
Raw, I assume.
Oh,
He
yes.
says as he's
Yes,
dragging
sir.
it. Right.
A part of me is
Ready to eat.
disappointed, but another part of me is intrigued enough to be happy to accept this from you. Thank you.
Now,
That is truly a great gift. And
if you take
I'm
this,
sure.
remember, never turn it inside out.
Why would you even tell me that?
How many potatoes does it produce if you were to do so? Does it just open a hole to the
Is there a
potato
potato
dimension?
universe in here?
It takes a DC 18 strength check to turn the sack the other way around after folding it back, and that's all I'm telling you.
That sounds like it might be a
Said that in
weaponizable.
really
potato.
strong technical terms, too.
I think there's a potato cannon
Like a golem.
functionality that could work, or a golem.
A
Exactly.
golem.
Yes.
Goltato. Well, he'll reach up and he'll take it.
Yes.
Well, regardless, thank you.
You're welcome.
Potatomaton.
I
I don't know.
know Drake.
Robotato.
We're always don't mind him. We're always happy to help anyone in need. If you need us again, call the office. We might not be in, but call the office.
Taterbot. There we go.
All right, great. I'm happy we've come to at least one conclusion today.
Well, we are very thankful that you have come around.
Now, keep an eye on your kids. Like, I know he didn't mean anything by this. Oh, sorry, I thought I had to sneeze, but I guess I don't.
That's the worst.
Pollen, it's a bad allergy. Make sure your kids aren't bringing home magical artifacts that might destroy your entire farm and livelihood and lives.
We will keep that in mind for
Right.
next time.
You guys seem to have
so.
quite a sizable, portion of land here. There should be no need for very strange dealings with people purveying magic beans or anything along those lines.
You hear that, Daniel? You got no business getting into them magic beans.
You're gonna be a farmer like your dad.
Yeah, notoriously, unreliable sales folk.
Yeah, all those dare meetings I used to go to told me to stay away from the magic beans. Some of my best friends fell victims of the magic beans. They took a lot of lives. Also, we're not sure if the gods are all alive. So if you find carcasses on your property, that's your problem. Also, there's a cow with like 100 legs roaming
Cowapede.
It's a cowapede.
Sent a cow.
I don't know.
Which do we prefer?
Down the path, you can tell now, maybe a couple miles, there's a few cows just grazing in the fields that look just fine now. And a little bit past there, you see that there is a group of guards that are standing up in the field going.
And behind them, we see the cowapede cresting a hill.
Yeah, right.
It never changed back. I want that to be the case, please.
That was just a normal feature of Arboria.
Just fucking 30, 40 feet tall running down the side of the country. Like, oh
eating
my God.
trees next to the village. We might get called here again pretty soon if that's.
Oh, look, Clifford.
He means well. He's got a
good don't mind him.
He could feed a village for years.
God, you could just I don't know, get a bit of him. Never mind. That's quite macabre. I will stop there.
I'm gonna wave the guards over.
They come over. The guard captain says, "What? I assume that you're the Darning Watch, right?"
Yeah.
Drake standing behind him flips his badge up or whatever.
We really appreciate it. We all, went to sleep, I suppose.
Yeah, sleeping on the job's not good. I won't tell you, supervisor, though.
Thank you. Though it's going to be hard to explain where we've been for the last day and a half without saying magically put to sleep.
Just say cowapede. That's all you need to say.
Or, just let the other folks who were turned into trees do the talking.
Do you think they're okay?
He just shrugs. We will find out shortly. I imagine. And he'll probably try and head this group back, swing by as best as he's able, the area where we saw them.
So you swing by, and unfortunately these guards are still plants. Though they look like apple trees. So they just got a singular trunk and then a normal head, but they are definitely human still in shape. The ones that are laying down seem like apple trees that their trunks have kind of grown like this, but they don't have very human features. They just have an apple tree with two trunks at the bottom going into two trunks at the top that stretch into the top of the trees.
Maybe it's best if we forget they were ever here.
I don't think that their families and loved ones will appreciate that.
Should we bring an apple from each back to their families?
They're not fruiting yet.
All right, maybe we'll wait for the season.
How do we know they're apple trees then? Anyway, I don't. We're good at trees, obviously.
Right, yeah, obviously. You've been rolling 19s and 20s on your survival checks. So.
Tree doctors.
Right. I'm not a fucking tree scientist. I don't know.
Tree doctors exist.
So yeah, you guys leave the property, and the two guards thank you profusely for helping solve the.
I would pass along that this maybe is like some sort of memorial, and that those were once people, so nobody goes chopping. Well, I guess it doesn't make. I don't know. I feel that the families should know that that's the remains of their loved ones. Some folks bury people under trees, right? That's not the worst kind of headstone you could get.
We're technically also ordained priests of particular orders. So if you want us to carve their names into the tree, that's fine. We can ordain that.
We'll talk to the families and see what they want.
I can preside over several different, faith varieties of funeral services.
We also do weddings. Yeah, we do weddings if you need us.
I really do too. I have ceremony.
Oh, you do?
Weddings.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
That's such a good spell.
That's awesome.
Did the family come with us to see us off?
Yes, they did.
That bottom one there.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Where did you get those beans?
Oh, I got them from a wizard in town.
Every fucking time it's a wizard. It's always wizard this, wizard that. They're saving the world. They're dooming the world. They're almost killing a farm and their family. Fuck wizards. I hate them.
He was a traveling fella. He had a lot of different magic items on him.
Description, name.
Yeah. Where did he leave heading toward? Yeah. Drake's pulling out scraps of paper.
He was headed up north towards Dandaris, I think. He said he had a lot of other gifts to give people.
Wonderful.
This might be a serial wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have some sort of general description of this individual?
Yeah, he had a blue checkered cloak, blue and purple, a long pointy hat that had a star hanging off the one end of the lack. And he had a staff. It was very peculiar. It looked like it was made out of cloth or felt or something.
And then any distinctive features that we would be able to use to pick him up. Sorry. It was a very distinctive individual you just described.
Yeah.
Like a jackass. Oh, and
like
he had
Elton
an eye
John.
patch or whatever.
Yeah, right. It's a lazy left eye. Right?
Do you
Oh man.
do you think this might be a lead to follow?
Oh, it
we do
is
that?
certainly something we will have to pass back to the rest of the watch. I'm not certain that we will be the ones sent out to further investigate this
Checkerboard
serial
guy.
wizard.
Yeah,
I think I
serial
like that the
checkerboard
best. Serial magician almost sounds like.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking serial, like a
Yeah,
Like Lucky Charms.
Yeah, Lucky
Yeah,
Charms,
the
yeah,
leprechaun.
serial wizard.
He's a serial wizard.
He produces milk from his
Yeah.
eyelids.
Oh,
It's
God.
crazy.
It's terrible. All right, guys.
Vomits
Dark
milk.
evil magic as we're head out and
Yep.
take it on our reports.
You guys have solved the mystery of the Thorns of Meadowsing.
Sticky leg man.
Yeah, the Sticklebrick.
The Sticky
family
Britches.
Sticky
are
Britches family.
very happy with your.
Sticklebricks.
You saved the family. You didn't saved as many people as you could, and you didn't get turned into trees along the
And
way.
now we've given you the plot hook of another Darning Watcher.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
and like we got that family has a nice flock of orange grove, or
Right.
Oranges,
apples,
apples
apple
now.
trees. Yeah.
I
They
got a
might be
bag
at
that makes
oranges. Who's to
potatoes.
say?
Right. A potato sock. Yep.
Right. Perfect. I have to write that down in the character sheet.
That's actually a great weapon to have on hand.
It's like a
you know,
smiley. Right.
nobody's going to.
It's like a bite
Nobody's
block
going
in
to
a
see.
fucking sock.
It is. It's like a bar soap in a sock. That is
Right.
a classic. I don't want to leave bruises weapon.
Right.
All right, guys. But we
Oh,
are
jeez.
Irrational Radio. We do this every Monday around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Go till about 11:30 midnight, depending on how long the session takes to finalize, to finish up. We also have another stream every other Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday, called the Disastronauts. This next Thursday, we're going to be doing Table 13. It's a weekly question and answer advice, role-playing.
GM workshop.
Yeah,
kind of
workshop kind of deal. Yeah. And then on Fridays, we have The Misadventures as another great campaign taking place in Paralandia. So thank you guys very much for joining us, and we will be back on Thursday for Table 13. Goodbye!